Peace of Mind Planning. I'm Addie Prewitt, an estate planning lawyer in New Orleans, Louisiana. For a lot of my time as a lawyer, I helped large companies figure out the tax consequences of mergers and acquisitions and various other corporate transactions. I thought it was very exciting. It was companies you would hear about in the news. But one problem that I found that I was definitely missing was there was no personal touch. So after I met my husband, I actually stepped away from the law practice for a few years to work in my husband's business. He's a pharmacist. We own two independent pharmacies. During that time, we also had two little boys who are now 3 and 5, which is chaotic and awesome all at the same time. But, I really loved having that personal touch. And I always knew that I wanted to go back to the practice of law. And so finally last year in the middle, right after, I don't know, sometime last year, who knows, with the pandemic, I opened my own law practice. And I was working with a lot of busy parents, and I realized they often had very similar worries about estate planning. They were kind of overwhelmed by the decisions they were asked to being made. They were confused about some of the terminology. And that's where I got the inspiration to start this show, a place where you could go to get information that was presented without the legal jargon and a short bite-sized pieces that you could kind of catch on your lunch break. So that's why I created this show. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And as you can see, I'm coming to you live today from my home office. Would love to know where everybody is coming watching this show from. Even if you're on the replay, let me know. That'll help me kind of figure out where everybody is. And on this show, I'm going to be answering estate planning questions, obviously, that I'm frequently asked. Things like, I'm not rich. Do I even need a will? Or, what death taxes do I need to be concerned about? How can I avoid them? Do I owe them at all? And quite frankly, any good estate planning lawyer, should be able to answer those questions for you. But I also wanted to do a little more. I wanted to give, tips, tricks, things to make your life simpler. I call it life hacks, but, some life hacks to maybe help you with your family and your life. Things like I did actually buy some hurricane preparation tools. Granted, it took me after Hurricane Ida occurred, but, to store my own estate planning documents and things like using Trello. It's a Kanban board that has really helped me with organizing things in my life. So starting today, I will be going live every other week on Wednesdays at 12:30 Central Time. And I hope you'll join me for the show. So today I really wanted to talk about why I think estate planning is for everyone. And so a little bit of my background, I went to law school. I really didn't know much about finances or anything, to be quite honest. And so it never really occurred to me that ordinary people, as I like to call it, just like people I knew in the neighborhood, would need estate planning. The things I guess I'd heard about estate planning up to that point were things like the Prince thing, where he didn't have a will, died with millions of dollars. And I think they've been fighting over that money since the day the poor guy died. And so, it didn't occur to me that everybody really needs estate planning. And recently someone said something that just really struck a chord with me. And the comment was that planning is just making decisions in advance. And I thought to myself that if that's not the best, way to describe estate planning, I don't know what is. So, when you sort of go through the estate planning process, you're doing things in advance, like deciding where your property goes if something should happen to you. You're deciding who will raise your kids if something should happen to you and your spouse, who will take care of you or make healthcare decisions on your behalf if you are incapacitated or in a coma and unable to do that. And so, it really doesn't matter the amount of money at stake, but rather, who do you want to make those decisions? So, it's not that the decisions don't get made, because there is a statute, a law on Louisiana's books that will say how your property will go if you die and you don't have a will. A lot of times it's sort of how people want their property to go, but not always. And, that's something to be aware of. So, I really do encourage everyone to sort of take the time to think through those decisions before they're being made. When you're in the middle of a crisis, you don't want to be having to make those decisions. And so that's why, in my opinion, I do think estate planning is for everyone. Next time we get together, I will talk to you about the 4 estate planning documents that I think everyone should have. And if you like what you're hearing, go ahead, follow, subscribe, depending on which platform you're watching this on. You know the drill, I'm sure by now, so that you'll never miss a live show. And most importantly, please, 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 if you have questions about estate planning or something around that in the legal field, shoot me a comment, let me know. I will be happy to answer them. Obviously it won't be providing legal advice in a fiduciary capacity, but just giving you some information that is useful in your life. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to have more conversations with you. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about me or my law practice, you can check out my website. It's addieprewittlaw.com. The address is below. So hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.